you. I'm glad to meet you. And here I am, Olena, from Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, with breaking news. Basically, just a couple of hours ago, we found out that in Kiev, the local authorities decided to impose the new lockdown in Kiev. That is the bad news, but let's talk how bad it really is, okay? So the local authorities of Kiev decided to impose the lockdown, only Kiev. Why? Because Ukraine now is having adaptive quarantine. That means that each region, each city, depending on its own situation with the COVID, can decide how strict quarantine can be or should be. So the local authorities of Kiev decided the situation is getting worse and we need the lockdown. But I'm saying the lockdown because here Ukrainian lockdown is a little bit different from what you know, like in Europe, for example, or in the USA. Okay, first of all, the borders will remain open. Those of you who has plans to visit Ukraine, that will not affect at least crossing the border. Okay, the borders remain open, and the way how you enter Ukraine is still the same. If you are from the green zone country, you need only travel insurance. If you are from a red zone country, you need a travel insurance, and as well you need the negative PCR test result. Okay, I have a video about it, maybe you watched it. Okay, now about this lockdown in Kiev. It will start on Saturday, on the 20th of March, and it will last 3 weeks. Okay, so it will last at least until the 9th of April. So basically the Friday evening, that is tomorrow, right? So that will be a very, very busy evening in Kiev, bars and pubs and restaurants, I think, because starting from Saturday, they are not allowed to work. Okay, so what are the main restrictions? Okay, so what are you interested in? The borders open. Yeah, you can come. The hotels keep working. Okay, they are allowed to work. What is bad news for foreign visitors is that bars, restaurants, pubs, all that is now not allowed to work. Before, only nightclubs were not allowed to work. Now all the eateries, the restaurants and so on, are not allowed to work, but they work for takeaways. Okay, so your favorite food from your favorite restaurant is available like this. Okay, and we have Uber Eats, and you will not stay hungry because here in Ukraine all the shops, markets, grocery stores will keep working. Supermarkets, this is where we usually buy food here, keep working even 24/7. Okay, there will be no restrictions how far you can go from your home, apartment or hotel. People are allowed to be on the street. Regarding to the masks are required inside of the buildings and inside of the transport. On the street, the masks are not required. Okay, museums, unfortunately, now have to be closed, so they are not allowed to work. But like good news is that some of the places that are very famous, like Kyiv, Lavra, or St. Michael's Cathedral, they are not museums, they are working churches, and they will keep working. Okay, so you will have a chance to see at least this part of Ukraine. Yeah, and like public parks, open air parks, will keep working too. Yeah, hello Gulam Abbas, very sad. Yeah, this is very sad news. I'm very upset with this news too, but let's find out in details how all that will be happening. So shopping malls, all these entertainment centers, unfortunately they will be closed too. Yeah, only groceries where you can buy food, these kind of the shops will keep working. Pet stores, pet stores, for pet foods will keep working. That is very good news for me, for example, because that guy needs some food. Okay, so he will not stay hungry. Beauty salons will keep working. What else? The gyms. This time gyms are allowed to work. Okay. The previous lockdown they were not. Now gyms can work, but with appointment. after appointment. Airports keep working, the borders keep working, and all the public transport in Kiev will keep working. Okay, so metro, subway, buses, trolley buses, marshrutkas, trams, all that keep working, but the requirement is that there should not be more than 50% of the seats occupied. So they kind of asked to be more strict on how many people inside of the transport, but that transport will keep working. Yeah, this applies to Kiev. So the local authorities in Kiev, they introducing this new lockdown. This is how they call it, but in fact this is more strict quarantine starting from Saturday, the 20th of March. What else? No mass entertainment events are allowed. Sports events without visitors, without audience. Okay, schools go back to remote learning. Kindergartens keep working. And all the companies, public offices and private companies are recommended to switch to the remote working. So people are advised to work from home. Okay, so basically this is what we will have starting from Saturday in Kiev. Yeah, I repeat, Kiev announced this starting from Saturday 20th of March. For the 3 weeks, we're gonna have here lockdown, which means more strict quarantine. It will last till the 9th of April. Okay, but what it means for you, that bars, restaurants, museums, mass events will not be working, but hotels, supermarkets, public transport, all that will keep working. Airports, Lynn Becker, I already said that, and I will repeat again. Yeah, airports keep working, okay? Airports, railway stations, airplanes, trains, all transport keeps working, okay? It is not affected. Is this because Kiev has been put into the red zone? Like they count how many cases we have, not even how many cases we have, but how many places is left inside of the hospitals with a special infrastructure to treat the COVID patients, okay, with this additional supply of oxygen. So right now the places, very few places are left, so they introduce these new restrictions, okay. In Ukraine, each region decides in which zone it is it red, orange, okay, green, and decides what kind of restrictions it's gonna have. We already have lockdowns in several regions, but mostly in the west of Ukraine. Yesterday, Lviv announced lockdown, and I must say that for Lviv, that is something, because before the local authorities were always against any lockdowns. But this time, even Lviv said, yes, we will have this lockdown for 1 week, okay, for 1 week. In Kiev, they said we will have lockdown for 3 weeks, and we will see the result. If that helps, yeah, that will be the end of the lockdown in April. Okay, if it doesn't help, probably the lockdown will be prolonged, or even maybe some more restrictions will be imposed. Some of you asked about, on Facebook, asked about Chernobyl. So Chernobyl exclusion zone keeps working. Yes, so the visitors are still allowed to visit the exclusion zone. And in this case, we are lucky because tourism officially doesn't exist in Chernobyl. So you are not tourists when you are coming to exclusion zone, you are visitors. So these tours to the exclusion zone will not be cancelled. They will still take place. Okay, so this was the news that I wanted to share with you. I hope that was useful. I can see 10 people watching me. Thank you, and I have some questions, okay? Only Kiev, yes, Kiev and Lviv have lockdown. Okay, now any restrictions on foreigners coming to Kiev? No special restrictions for foreigners coming to Kiev, okay? So the airport, all these checkpoints and control at the airport or on the ground checkpoints, that will be all the same. Yeah, all the same. If you are from the red zone country, you need to bring PCR test result that is negative and travel insurance, okay? Otherwise, you need to self-isolate here for 2 weeks if you are from the red zone country, okay? That is more complicated. So I don't even want to talk about it. It's just easier for you to bring the PCR test result and show it at the border, and they will just let you into Ukraine. Okay? Uh, so for traveling, no new restrictions really. If you are in Ukraine right now, it doesn't mean that you have to leave it immediately before Saturday. It just means that on Friday evening, that is your last chance to go to a restaurant or to go to a bar. Yeah, or to visit some museum on Friday, because on Saturday that will be locked. Laboratories for taking PCR tests, hospitals, that will be all working. Okay. This may read harshly, but why don't you idiots listen to her? She's explaining it all well clearly. Dear Ingenia, let us be like polite towards each other. Let's not call anyone idiots, okay, me or the others, please, I ask you. Okay, no lockdown in Kherson. Yes, no lockdown. So Kiev, Lviv, and some areas, regions of the western Ukraine. Thank you for information. You're welcome. Okay. I didn't say beginning restaurants are closed. They will be closed starting from Saturday for 3 weeks. Okay, Stefan? They will work only for takeaways. Government offices will remain open or closed. Well, they are advised. Okay, all public offices and state-owned organizations that aren't critical infrastructure switch to remote work. This is what it says. Okay, so probably each governmental authorities will decide themselves, do they switch to remote work or not. But from my experience, from what I know, the last such a lockdown in Kiev for 3 weeks was imposed recently. That was in January. And basically, everything was working. All these governmental services, they were working. So if you are asking, because for example, you're not sure if you get visa or the special document to get permanent residence permit, or to register a company, these kind of services, they will keep working, like 99%. Okay. Olena, why would they do a lockdown while the vaccines are available? Well, that is quite a complicated and political question, basically. We started vaccination only recently. Okay, our government is very slow on vaccination. It is not affordable for everyone yet. And there is another problem. In general, Ukrainians are afraid of vaccines. This is the reality that we are having. People are not demanding vaccines from the government a lot because they are afraid of being vaccinated. According to the last surveys, from 40 to 60% of Ukrainians are ready to be vaccinated. And that is even quite optimistic. That is not bad. Okay, but from what we know now, there is like electronic queue to apply for this vaccination, but it's like a slow process, really. I had a vaccine yesterday here in UK. All okay. Okay. Yeah, glad for you. Congratulations. Yeah, people are really afraid of some consequences with their health. And even like the other vaccines here, like we had even waves of anti-vaccination protest here. Parents didn't want their children to be vaccinated because there were several cases in the country when there were some bad consequences or even death cases. So people saw that in the news and they are now afraid of being vaccinated anyhow. Okay. So with the vaccines, that's the question. Why the government is slow? That's a very global question and political one. Like official authorities, they are encouraging people to be vaccinated. Even our president, he publicly, made this vaccine to encourage the others. Okay. I can now listen to sports channels without my TV. Okay, lol, I had my vaccine. I'm turning into a zombie hungry for human flesh, lol. Okay, Sam, you will be a very nice zombie, I'm sure. Yes. Okay, so this is what we have, guys. Maybe a few words about vaccine. Sometimes you ask, if I am vaccinated, can I enter Ukraine without doing a test? No. So for today, it doesn't mean are you vaccinated or you are not. If you are from the red zone country, yeah, you need to show the PCR test result. This list of the green and the red zone countries is published every week on Fridays, sometimes with the delay, yeah, but usually on Friday. And I publish it on my Facebook page every Friday and in the comments of the video dedicated to these entering rules. Okay, and the big surprise was that in the last list that we have, like today, the USA, America is green. Before it was like always red on the top. Right now it is green. But the thing is, you never know, like next Friday, will it be red again, go back to red, or it will stay green? So it's kind of a lottery, really. So if I were you, let's say, and I had plans to visit Ukraine, I would do this PCR test just in case before entering Ukraine, just to make sure that I have it. Yeah, and moreover, some airlines, they demand the PCR test result just to board the airplane. And some of the airports demand this PCR test result even for transit. I know it 100% about Amsterdam. Yeah, that they do. Okay, hi Elena, thank you for replying back to my message. I will contact you later if possible. Feel free, you're welcome. But first, I just want to thank you for doing what you do for all of us. You are welcome. What is your Facebook, please? It is What is Ukraine? Yeah, I have my personal Facebook page. It is Olena Gnes. This is my name. And I have working Facebook page, What is Ukraine? It is in the description of every of my videos, except this one because it is live. Okay, you will find the links. Okay, if you have some questions, you can ask it now. Okay, if no, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I wish you all the best and hope to see you one day in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much for watching. The news were sad, but you know, it's better to be prepared and know about that information in advance. Okay. You can find the video on my YouTube channel, How to Enter Ukraine. I made it basically in October, but it is still the same. Yeah, how you enter this PCR test result and the travel insurance. Thanks, this is very informative. Merry Christmas to you too. Hi, Elena. Are schools and colleges students continue online classes? Yes. Yes, so schools and high schools, they go online. Okay. Only kindergartens, they will keep working, yeah, like normal. The school will go online, and their colleges, universities, all that will go online too, at least for these 3 weeks. Okay, it was a pleasure to meet you. It was a pleasure to talk to you. See you later. Goodbye and thank you. How to turn it off? Anybody knows?